And our editor-at-large Rahul Kanwal spoke exclusively to Lieutenant General A.K. Chaudhary. Let's listen in.
This question that has hung over the head of General V.K. Singh, your former boss as Army Chief, and also the Prime Minister of India. Why is it that you've chosen to speak out at this time, sir?
Yeah, I was approached by the Indian Express Group, and since they had only taken this, message out at that time, so since they asked me about 2 days back to clarify the issue, I thought it correct to reply to them, and that is why I replied to them and clarified the issue.
What your reply does, General Chaudhary, is tell India that there indeed was concern amongst the highest echelons of the Indian government about a possible coup. Why do you think things reached to such a pass where the army is being suspected by the civilian government of the day for orchestrating a coup and moving these troops towards Delhi, sir?
No, that is why I wanted to clarify that these movements are almost a daily affair all over the country, because there are a large number of formation units which are located in various parts of the country, including in northern region, including in Delhi, NCR, etc. And they continue to carry out such training based on the overall policy, and this was also one of the part of such a training for which the local formation commanders are supposed to take it directly. They are not supposed to consult us on every day's training movement.
No, sir, I want to understand from you, why is it that you believe the Intelligence Bureau and the Defense Secretary got so spooked? I'm reading from this story, it says we got a call from the highest levels in government that there is a possibility of these troops moving towards Delhi. Why did they get so concerned about what the army was doing, sir?
Now this you will have to ask them, but I can only say that I was called and I was asked as to what is this movement about, and once I explained to them on that evening, after that they understood it and the issue was closed.
Sir, can you describe to our viewers your meeting with the Defense Secretary, who's now India's Comptroller and Auditor General, just so that our viewers have a full sense of what happened? Describe to them your encounter with the Defense Secretary of the day.
Firstly, we meet and we discuss with the Defense Secretary and the Director General of Military Operations almost on daily basis. So that's really not anything new. However, they did call me up on that evening, little late in the evening, and asked me as to what was this movement about. And then I explained to them as to what this movement is all about, explained to them how it takes place, and then I'm sure they were fully satisfied, and that is why the next day they closed this issue.
Do you think this issue reflects the complete breakdown of trust between the Ministry of Defense, the civilian part of the Indian government and the Indian Army? Which is why they suspected that these troops moving towards Delhi could have been possibly attempting a coup?
Now this, I only felt that in case they had any inputs of this sort, they should have asked me then and there, that is one day earlier, and it could have been clarified.
Why didn't they?
It was asked to me one day later, and
why didn't they ask you on the first day?
That you will have to ask them.
Are you then suggesting, General Chaudhary, and I think what you're saying is perfectly legitimate, that it is now incumbent on the government to come out and clarify who gave this information to them in the first instance? Because they debunked this story, they said that you were never called. So far, there was complete denial. If you hadn't spoken out, General Chaudhary, India would have never known the truth, and the government would have said that the story was wrong and that what the Express reported was incorrect and that General Singh was a liar. At least you've come out and clarified those things. Would you like to see now a response from the government on who fed them this information?
Oh, that is their prerogative. I am only saying that once they asked a question to me, I clarified it, and then it was resolved and they understood it very well.
And Strategic Affairs Editor Gaurav Sawant now joins us live now. Gaurav, the former DGMO spilling the beans about this suspicious troop movement. What kind of backlash are we expecting with this huge explosive revelation?
Well, it's for the government now to clarify with the army saying this was a routine troop movement that takes place every winters. It's for the government to clarify why did the government get spooked and who in the highest level at Government of India got spooked and what was the intelligence that was given to that person that led to the government being spooked, because the army has clarified and the defense minister has clarified. And today when we spoke to the National Security Advisor Shiv Shankar Menon, he made it very clear that according to him there is no mistrust between the government and the army. But there was a time, especially when General VK Singh as the chief of the army staff took the government to court, and those 48 hours are extremely crucial because that's the time immediately after the Army Day parade the general decided to go to court on the 16th of January. He took the government to court. That night mysterious troop movement takes place that the army claims is routine, but elements in the government say it's not routine, and somewhere down the line the real truth is still not emerging. Now one part of the troop movement, which is the para commandos, the special forces moving to Delhi, that is an annual winter exercise in fog. They do it every year. But the mechanized forces moving to Delhi is something that both the army and the government need to clarify, because the mechanized forces move towards the desert and not towards Delhi. So who planned this maneuver? When was it planned? All of that still needs to come out in the open, even though Defense Minister may claim that there was no reason for anyone to be spooked.
Absolutely. Gaurav Sawant, they're raising some pertinent questions. This is after the former DGMO's explosive revelations.